Beneath this sand layer, something just moved. But above, those eyes have already seen. An escape route opens, also when another dark shadow appears. Every direction of flight leads to another danger. And in this place, the survivor's luck often begins with another's end. Desert mouse, the escape through the sea of deadly sand. Sand surface temperature has exceeded 60 degrees. Air bent, turning everything distant into mirages flowing blurred on the horizon. Yellow scorpion seeks shade, nestling into rock crevice to avoid sun. Outside, under high-temperature rocks begin cracking from thermal expansion. Heat presses down on Sonoran like invisible weight. Owl hides in tree trunk, avoiding sun. Under thornbush, jackrabbit presses flat to ground, dilating blood vessels in ears to radiate heat. But beneath scorching sand layer, ground surface shifts slightly. Horned lizard emerges, dusting sand with transparent eyelids before stepping into heat level. All other species are avoiding. It possesses osteoderm armor layer, helping adapt to harsh heat. Red ants crawl across nose and head spikes, while its body not yet warm enough to react. Tongue flicks out extremely fast, rolling up each ant, then swallowing whole. On dessert, energy-conserving hunting strategy, more important than pursuit speed. Horned lizard walks, and at cholla bush edge, another movement appears. Small burrow entrance stirs. Two long whiskers poke out, sensing ground vibrations. Desert mouse stands motionless before burrow entrance, only ears continuously rotating, detecting sounds. After seconds of vigilance, it finally steps into dangerous open space. Long hind legs help it leap far and change direction instantly. It dashes between mesquite bushes, exposing itself on bare sand surface. It's searching for seeds, but never losing vigilance about surrounding environment. For desert rodents, danger typically comes from above. Above, two golden eagles glide on thermal currents, barely needing to flap wings. They've appeared since ground began absorbing heat. With vision 8 times human, plus talons creating grip force over 2,800 pounds per square inch. Golden eagle has locked tight on small brown dot between two bushes right when it left burrow. Eagle tilts wings, adjusting descent trajectory, calculating wind and prey's running direction. Wrong angle causes failure and wastes energy on dessert. On ground, mouse detects round shadow advancing on sand, immediately flees, changing direction, lunging toward a rock maze instead of running straight to familiar burrow. Eagle talons stab into sand where mouse just stood. It watches prey. Mouse continues running, carrying first trace, opening hunting signal. Mouse rushes into maze of stacked granite rocks, making eagle unable to approach. Shade reduces heat significantly, but this terrain is also shelter for other predator species. Rock rattlesnake has necrotic venom. Thanks to heat pit, it detects mouse through very small temperature difference before seeing and begins rattling tail. Mouse freezes. Ahead is snake. Behind is eagle. But instead of panicking, it calculates escape chance when snake strikes and misses, needing about 3 seconds to coil back. Opportunity will open. Mouse creates vibration, stimulating snake to strike first. When strike lunges forward, it leaps sideways, then passes through narrow gap in very short time. Right then, eagle lunges into rock gap following mouse direction. Large movement brings it into defense reflex range of agitated snake. Snake launches second strike. Fangs only graze eagle's chest feathers, forcing predator to spring back out, yielding rock maze to true owner. Mouse escapes maze from west side. It breathes heavily, legs beginning to feel heavy. Ahead is bare sand plain, but behind is pursuing eagle. Two eagles coordinate above. One forces direction, the other waits ready at strike angle, creating pincer position, leading mouse right into attack trajectory. Cactus branch makes it slip slightly, but it still struggles to keep running, driven into talon range, diving down from about 30 meters height. Just as the talons were about to make contact, the mouse spotted the hollow skull. Its hind legs kicked off, and it changed direction, diving straight in and vanishing as the talons snapped shut over the top of the cranium. The skull creates a natural shelter. The narrow eye sockets prevent the eagle's beak from reaching deep inside, while the bone layer keeps the temperature significantly lower than the open sand. Eagle perches on skull, continuously pecking into open gaps, but mouse still lies deep inside skull cavity. Tug of war between desert's strongest and hollow skull begins. 5 minutes. Sun scorches sand surface, but skull remains cool thanks to heat reflection and light convection. Meanwhile, eagle must continuously shift feet to force mouse to run out. After 10 minutes, one perched on cactus begins losing patience, scanning for other targets, while the other pecks one last time, but still powerless before skull. Finally, eagles fly away in turn, abandoning energy-draining hunt, leaving skull in desert midst with mouse still alive inside. Mouse pokes whiskers from eye socket, checking vibrations and shadows on sand, then crawls out, dusts sand from fur, and runs to nearest burrow. Escape ends. By reflexes faster than eagle talons, body twist making snake miss strike, and a hollow skull lying right where no one expected. Eagles have ascended high again, and eyes still scanning. From afar, they detect new movement racing fast among cactus bushes. Zebra-tailed lizard, running at 30 kilometers per hour speed, black-white stripes bobbing. Being pursued by collared lizard, specialist eating smaller kindred, chasing behind. Collared lizard, with large head and powerful jaw force, completely focused on prey ahead, not at all recognizing predator shadow marked on sand. Zebra-tailed lizard dives underground. Pursuer behind stops in open area. It halts observing but doesn't see prey anywhere. Above, eagle has locked target early, waiting for exact moment lizard stops in open ground to dive from most advantageous attack angle. Collared lizard hears wind whistle behind, but reacts slowly. Body too hot, After chase-making legs lose half speed, 2 meters become unreachable distance. Eagle talons clamp tight around lizard body and lift it from sand surface. Amid open space, with no rock gaps or shelter, all escape chances vanish. Eagle carries prey flying to nest on large cactus tree, while zebra-tailed lizard silently stays under sand, surviving by being faster than what once hunted it. Eagle perches on cactus tree feeding its young. Lost small mouse but gained larger prey instead. Enough one meal for its offspring. Desert food chain continues operating. Seeds feed mouse, insects feed lizard, lizard feeds eagle. Then decomposing carcass returns nutrients to soil and plants. Horned lizard lies pressed on warm rock after eating enough ants. Bone armor layer protects body, while blood squirting ability helps drive away many predator species. In cool burrow, mouse is moving, thanks to extremely efficient water concentrating kidney system, helping it live almost without needing to drink water amid arid desert. Rattlesnake still coiled. Slow metabolism helps it fast many days, waiting for temperature to drop, then begins night hunting with heat pit. Dusk touches Sonoran. Sunlight gradually shifts to orange-red, while desert rocks begin radiating heat, absorbed throughout the long day. Desert changes shifts. Horned lizard prepares to bury itself in sand. Eagle stops hunting. Scorpion leaves rock crevice, and mouse pokes whiskers out burrow entrance again. Now is safest time. Rattlesnake crawls from maze, continuously flicking tongue and scanning heat. Where once was daytime shelter, now becomes nighttime hunting ground. Sonoran Desert spans over 300,000 square kilometers. With extreme temperature range, creatures here must adapt to daytime heat or nighttime cold to survive. Each species carries unique survival strategy, but all adaptations have limits. No one is perfect, only the most suitable. Mid-morning on the African Savannah, as the sun begins to pour down on the parched earth, life does not stop. It simply shifts to a different tempo. There is no shade for refuge, no place to hide completely. This is a land where every creature must expose itself to the sun and to one another. From a small burrow beneath a tree, a small head emerges. Dark, beady eyes scan the surroundings quickly. This is not curiosity, it is a survival habit repeated every day. The daytime savanna belongs to those who dare to venture out when the sun is harshest. And among them, there are encounters that neither side planned for. The Egyptian mongoose, a small carnivore widely known for a skill few others on the savannah can match, dealing with venomous snakes. Measuring about 50 centimeters long and any mammal of its size. The mongoose is equipped by evolution. Modified acetylcholine receptors make the cobra's neurotoxic venom act significantly slower on its body. But resistance to venom does not mean total immunity. A large enough dose or a bite in the right location can still be fatal. Not far away, a long, glossy object moves slowly through the grass. It makes no sound. Only a slight ripple on the blades of grass serves as evidence. The mongoose stops. Its nose points forward, the distinct scent of a large reptile, unmistakable for anything else on this savanna. To understand the gravity of the coming confrontation, one must look at the creature slithering toward the mongoose, one of the most dangerous and common venomous snakes of the Dark Continent. The Egyptian cobra, up to 2 meters long, capable of accurately spitting venom into an opponent's eyes from over 2 meters away. Each bite injects enough venom to take down a full-grown human. Beyond its toxicity, its main advantage is strike speed. A strike is completed in under a quarter of a second, exceeding the reflex time of many equivalent predators. However, as the opponent closes in, the strike's effectiveness decreases. Distance becomes the decisive variable governing the probability of success for both sides. The two detect each other at less than 3 meters. The mongoose lowers its body and bristles its neck fur, while the snake spreads its hood and coils its body into an S shape. Both are ready for war. This is a language both species understand without needing to learn. Every posture is a message. I am not retreating, and I am readier than you think. Both hold their positions, neither advances. This is not hesitation, it is calculation. In this battle, the one who strikes first is not necessarily the one with the advantage. The snake sways its head slowly, tracking every movement of the mongoose. This is a psychological tactic, to distract the opponent, creating a moment of diverted attention to strike. The mongoose is not deceived. It moves forward half a step, then retreats. Forward, then back. Not out of fear, but to read the snake's reaction time. The snake lunges with a fast and precise strike, but misses. The mongoose evades in a split second. No one is hurt, but information has been gathered by both sides. The mongoose counterattacks immediately, without hesitation, lunging straight for the snake's neck, a strike taking less than a quarter of a second, which the mongoose has practiced since it was young. The snake breaks free and coils back instantly. Both return to their original positions. The tempo spikes. It is no longer a probe. The battle has truly begun. The snake lunges, using its strength to bite quickly toward the mongoose. The mongoose closes its eyes and turns its face back, evading perfectly. The thick facial fur acts as a second barrier. The venom clings to the surface. The snake used one of its most effective weapons and failed. The mongoose accelerates. No more stepping back and forth. This time, it is a continuous assault, forcing the snake to strike repeatedly. Every strike from the snake is an opening the mongoose is waiting for. The snake gradually loses the initiative, shifting to a coiled, defensive posture. This stance limits attack angles, but simultaneously reduces its ability to control distance. The mongoose focuses on the back of the head, the area controlling the nervous system. A precise bite here can quickly neutralize all resistance. The snake thrashes violently, trying to escape the encirclement. Its long body sweeps across, pushing the mongoose away. The mongoose is tossed back, but does not fall. All four paws hit the ground instantly. This is the moment many other predators would stop, but not the mongoose. It returns with the same speed, maintaining pressure, demonstrating a resilient strategy selected by nature. The snake strikes one last time, more accurately than before. Fangs graze the mongoose's shoulder, but the thick fur and skin block part of it. The amount of venom injected is not enough to change the outcome. The moment the snake retracts its jaws after that bite is the final opening. The mongoose does not miss. Its jaws lock onto the back of the snake's head, the target it aimed for from the start. The snake coils around the mongoose, trying to use constricting force, but the mongoose does not let go. The bite force increases steadily. This is the decisive phase. The first to lose control will lose everything. The snake's movements slow down, not from exhaustion, but because neurological damage begins to spread from the bite site. The mongoose holds its position for nearly 40 more seconds. No rush. Waiting until movement completely stops. It is extremely cautious. When the snake is entirely motionless, the mongoose still bites down hard. Nothing changes. The battle ends in a way this species has repeated thousands of times before. The entire event took under 15 minutes, but every second reflects accumulated evolutionary data. No factor depended on mere luck. The mongoose drags the snake back to its burrow, a typical behavior for the species. No victory celebration, just a necessary meal after energy has been spent. In the ecosystem, the mongoose plays the role of a natural population control for venomous snakes. No other predator in this area performs that function. But the mongoose also faces increasing pressure, shrinking habitats, dwindling water sources, and competition with larger predators. The cobra faces similar trends. Declines in many areas are mainly due to environmental changes, exceeding the short-term adaptive capacity of both species. This raises a larger question. When one of the two disappears, how will the rest of the ecosystem adjust? There is no simple answer. Today's battle is a very small part of a much larger picture. Every species in this system depends on the existence of others. The mongoose carries the snake to its burrow. There is no reason to linger. The day is still long, and the Savannah sun waits for no one. The Savannah keeps no memory of what happens upon it. The wind erases traces. The sun dries what remains, and the cycle continues the way it has always operated. These two species have coexisted on this continent for millions of years, not because of peace, but because of balance. One side is dangerous enough to force the other to evolve faster. The mongoose will return to its burrow before dark. Another cobra will emerge when the temperature drops. This loop has no beginning and no end. Of all the lessons nature can teach, perhaps the simplest is also the most difficult to grasp. No species exists alone, not even the best predator. And as the first darkness touches the horizon, the savannah does not ask who won or lost today. It only prepares for what will happen tomorrow. Kalahari, the world's largest red sand desert, stretching more than 900,000 square kilometers across 3 countries, where temperatures swing 60 degrees Celsius between day and night. And every creature that exists here has paid its tuition through evolution. A world where countless species coexist, hunt, and multiply among the blazing red dunes with no trace of water, the largest semi-arid ecosystem on the planet. Beneath the still cool red sand of dawn, meerkats let out short, sharp calls, signaling the start of a new day with a land's relentless battle for survival. High above, the martial eagle circles wide on thermals rising from the red sand, its wingspan nearly 2.5 meters, eyes reading every movement on the ground from an altitude where humans can see nothing at all. Below, a herd of oryx moves slowly along a dry riverbed, while springbok leap high in bursts as if challenging the heat already pressing down. Among the dry thorn bushes, meerkats stand upright, absorbing warmth after a night that dropped to 5 degrees Celsius. A black mamba coils beneath a rock, waiting for the temperature to rise, while a male lion lies still in the shade of an acacia. When the extreme dry season arrives, Kalahari changes hour by hour. Temperatures climb until the line between life and death is only the width of a patch of shade. 9 months of drought, daytime temperatures exceeding 45 degrees Celsius in the air and 70 degrees on the sand surface, nights dropping to 5 degrees. Kalahari becomes the harshest land on the continent. Oryx raise their body temperature rather than lose water. The brain cooled separately by a specialized vascular system. Meerkats retreat into the cool earth below, and lions lie motionless, waiting for the sun to fall. In Kalahari, no species stands outside the cycle of heat and scarcity. Predator, prey, and 70-degree sand are always the 3 final deciding factors. And the winner is not the strongest, but the one that has evolved strangely enough to survive here. Welcome to Kalahari, the world's largest red sand desert, where survivors are not chosen by strength or speed, but by the only thing that matters, the ability to adapt to what is unbearable. If Kalahari has an ambassador, it is not the magnificent black-maned lion, not the proud, long-horned oryx. It is a 700-gram creature that stands upright on its hind legs every morning. Meerkats are immune to the venom of cobras and scorpions, the 2 most dangerous species in Kalahari. Their skin is unusually thick. Their nervous system reacts faster than the venom can spread. They are among the most courageous creatures on this planet. By eliminating snakes and scorpions, they protect dozens of other species that have no immunity, maintaining balance at the ground-level ecological layer that no other species can replace. Meerkats have no rigid hierarchy, but rotate responsibilities. Each day, one individual stands guard and scans the surroundings. When danger appears, the entire group vanishes into the burrow in seconds. But now they are steadily losing their territory, as extreme drought causes burrow systems to collapse. The dry, loose soil is no longer stable enough to maintain the deep tunnels the entire group depends on. If Serengeti has the king of the grassland, then Kalahari has the black-maned lion. They stand out not for their size or speed, but for the dark mane that reflects their physical condition, heat tolerance, and history of harsh survival. In the dry season, Kalahari lions may need to travel around 20 kilometers each night to find prey. They hunt in darkness across dry sand where footprints and scents are quickly erased by the wind. Their presence does not only threaten prey, but shapes the entire ecosystem. Oryx and springbok are forced to keep moving, avoiding lingering too long in areas with a high risk of ambush. Kalahari lions hunt differently from their relatives on the green savanna. With no thickets or water sources to drive prey into a corner, they rely on endurance and patience, sometimes tracking a target for 5 to 6 continuous hours. The Kalahari lion, one of the most harshly adapted populations in Africa, is declining due to conflict with humans. When natural prey becomes scarce, they are forced to hunt livestock and are frequently poisoned or killed in retaliation. If Kalahari has a symbol of defiance, it is the oryx. This antelope possesses horns longer than 80 centimeters, can survive where water is scarce, endure brutal heat, and hold its ground against a lion. Oryx can allow their body temperature to rise significantly while still protecting the brain. They achieve this through a specialized heat exchange mechanism that cools the blood before it flows to the brain. When digging for water-bearing tubers and roots beneath the sand, oryx inadvertently create countless small hollows. These depressions retain moisture better overnight, forming microhabitats for many species of insects, reptiles, and small plants. When a lion approaches, oryx typically do not flee immediately. They turn to face it, lower their horns, and hold a defensive position because their speed is not sufficient to guarantee escape, while the longhorns are an effective weapon. When migration corridors disappear, oryx herds become isolated in ever-shrinking areas. Food sources are quickly exhausted, their bodies gradually weaken, and they become far easier targets. But Kalahari does not belong only to the large creatures. When night falls and temperatures plunge tens of degrees within a few hours, another world begins to awaken, the secret world of nocturnal life. Midnight, temperature at 8 degrees Celsius. The oryx herd has been moving since late afternoon, searching for a new food source, unaware that 2 lionesses have been tracking them for 4 hours without making a single sound. The first lioness approaches from upwind, ensuring the oryx cannot catch her scent. The second lioness swings wide to the left to cut off the retreat route. One oryx raises its head, ears rotate, nostrils flare. Kalahari holds its breath for 3 seconds, and those 3 seconds decide the entire outcome of this 4-hour hunt. Just 1 second of a wind shift is enough to carry the lion's scent to the oryx herd. The entire group instantly breaks formation and bolts in the direction that millions of years of evolution have carved into their survival instinct. The final strike, not at the throat as the grassland lion would, because on soft sand there is not enough traction for a prolonged struggle, and this, is the most efficient way to end it. The survivor of tonight is not necessarily the fastest, but the one who reacted at the right moment. In Kalahari, just a few seconds of hesitation after detecting danger is enough to turn a chance of escape into an irreversible failure. And the one who falls will not be wasted. Hyenas will follow the scent of blood. Vultures will appear at dawn. And before midday, Kalahari will have returned everything to the cycle of life. The sun rises again. Temperatures begin to climb, and the Meerkat group pokes its heads above the burrow entrance, beginning a new day as though nothing happened last night. In Kalahari, that is the definition of survival. Everything you have just witnessed is not a collection of separate stories. Kalahari is a living organism, and every species must find its own answer to the same question. How do you survive in a place where everything is trying to kill you? Meerkats control venomous creatures. Lions control the herbivore herds. Oryx maintain micromoisture and scatter seeds. When even one link weakens, the entire system loses its balance. Kalahari is not a dead desert. It is a living desert, home to more than 400 species of birds, 1,500 species of plants, and an underground system more complex than any city humans have ever built. All of it on a bed of red sand with no water. And when one link disappears, it is not just one species that is lost. A 10 million year evolutionary equation is erased, and no amount of time is long enough to rewrite it from the beginning. But the most dangerous creature in Kalahari cannot endure 45-degree heat for more than 2 hours without air conditioning. It arrives in trucks, erects fences, and drills wells. Interventions whose consequences reach far beyond a single generation. The Sand People, the indigenous community that has been bound to Kalahari for tens of thousands of years, were once forced off their ancestral land to make way for tourism, conservation, and extraction, even though they are the ones who understand this land most deeply. The cost does not belong to nature alone. As vegetation declines and sand is no longer held stable, agricultural land in Botswana, Namibia, and South Africa may face increasing pressure from erosion, drought, and ecological degradation. When the lion's roar dissolves into the cold, early morning air, when the oryx vanishes into the heat shimmer, when the meerkats retreat underground, Kalahari returns to its ancient rhythm, slow, precise, and leaving no room for error. The question that remains is not only what we have seen, but what will happen if the species chosen to adapt here slowly disappear. When that day comes, who will keep Kalahari running as a world still alive? What will we have left when Kalahari is no longer red? When the sand is no longer hot because there is nothing left to scorch, and no more strange creatures strong enough to stand upright and face the sun each morning. Kalahari is still here, still red, still hot, still ruthlessly filtering every creature that enters it. But the question is how much longer? And the answer no longer lies in nature alone. It increasingly rests in human hands. If this journey has made you look again at arid lands once dismissed as worthless, then perhaps Kalahari has done the most important thing of all, forced us to look more carefully at life in a place where life seemed impossible. And until next time, at the next brutal survival arenas, where nature does not ask if you are ready, and the answer must come before the question has a chance to be asked. The first rays of dawn shine down on the Serengeti grasslands. A new day begins at the heart of Africa. Here, millions of creatures coexist in a complex ecological network, where predator and prey, strong and weak, intertwine their fates. But not all make their living by strength. Some have chosen another path, the path of opportunists. This is the story of Africa's most notorious thieves, those who survive on the fruits of others' labor. Spotted hyenas, Crocuta crocuta, can reach weights up to 70 kilograms, living in clans ranging from 10 to 80 individuals. With the strongest jaws among African carnivores. But 80% of their food comes from scavenging. They track other hunters like leopards and cheetahs, patiently waiting for the right opportunity. Spotted hyena's tactic is patience. One hyena may lose, but the whole clan is different. Numbers are weapons. Their calls echo across grasslands, summoning teammates. A leopard just brought down a stray antelope and prepares to drag prey up a tree, but it's too late. But just patiently waiting, creating continuous psychological pressure. The leopard gradually exhausts and must make a choice: abandon prey or face the entire clan. Finally, survival instinct prevailed. Within just 2 minutes, the antelope carcass completely disappears. Meat, skin, and bones all consumed. This is not cruelty, but survival efficiency. African wild dogs, like Caon pictus, currently number only about 6,000 individuals in the wild and are classified as endangered. Unlike hyenas, they are professional hunters with hunt success rates up to 80%, highest among terrestrial carnivores. However, when opportunity presents, they're also ready to steal prey, especially when lions have eaten their fill and left. Speed is the key advantage. They rush in quickly, take remaining portions, and retreat before other rivals can react. Black-backed jackals, Canis mesomelus, are much smaller and lighter than other carnivores at only about 10 kilograms, but compensate with high intelligence and flexibility. They live in pairs or small groups, not strong enough to confront directly, so choose another strategy: waiting in shadows. Night is their activity time, when large hunters rest. They silently approach, searching for leftovers. A bone fragment, a bit of meat, not much, but enough to sustain life. That's the survival art of the small. In African skies exists another opportunist group: vultures, distant relatives of eagles, African white-backed vultures, Gyps africanus, with wingspans up to 2.5 meters and vision about 8 times stronger than humans, allowing them to detect carcasses from altitudes up to 4,000 meters. They don't hunt, but soar in the air, patiently observing all movements below. When an animal falls, vultures are the first to notice. They swoop down quickly, in numbers up to dozens, even hundreds. The scene is not beautiful, but necessary. They clean the savannah, prevent disease spread, a role no species can replace. Beneath the water surface, another opportunist waits. Nile crocodile, Crocodilus niloticus. Bodies up to 6 meters long, weighing nearly 1 ton and living over 100 years, they're considered living fossils, existing from over 200 million years ago. Possessing the strongest bite force among terrestrial creatures, but crocodiles aren't just active hunters. They also track other predators. When a leopard brings down an antelope near the riverbank, that could be a fatal mistake. In an instant, it lunges, yanking prey into water. The leopard can only stand stunned as the meal disappears before its eyes. Underwater, crocodiles perform the death roll. Violent spinning to tear prey into pieces. Efficient, brutal, but true to survival nature. And then there are lions, Panthera leo, often called kings of the savannah. But even kings have secrets. Lionesses are the main hunters, bringing back up to 80% of the pride's food. But the question is, who eats first? Male lions, weighing nearly double lionesses. They approach, push lionesses aside, and eat first. Privilege of the strong. This is not cruelty, but biological order. Male lions defend territory, face other rivals, and need large energy sources to survive. However, in many cases, male lions are also true opportunists. They don't hunt directly, but wander, seeking the right moment. A cheetah just brought down an antelope, the fastest land animal, but after the chase, it's nearly exhausted. A male lion smells blood and steps out from grass. The cheetah recognizes danger, but it's too late to flee. No confrontation. The cheetah must abandon hours of hunting effort while the lion claims victory without fighting. That's the savannah's law. Size determines power. But the cycle doesn't stop. When lions eat their fill and leave, others successively appear. Hyenas return, Wild dogs approach. From above, vultures swoop down. Jackals sneak in shadows. Each species takes its share. Nothing is wasted. Every bone, every piece of skin, every drop of blood has value and is utilized. Finally, only dried bloodstains remain on grass. The next day, grass will grow green again. The cycle continues. No winners, no losers. That's how the African savanna operates. No fairness or right and wrong, only survival and ability to seize opportunities. Hyenas, wild dogs, jackals, vultures, crocodiles, and lions all are opportunists and all are survivors. In this ecosystem, no role is small. Each species assumes a specific function, from hunter to cleaner. All are necessary. Yet in the past 3 decades, African vulture numbers have dropped up to 80%. Hyenas gradually lose habitat. Wild dogs number only about 6,000 individuals in the wild. In 2026, humanity stands at a crossroads. Protect these so-called thieves, or lose the entire system they maintain. Each opportunist has a role. Each behavior has a function. They don't steal, they recycle, they regulate, they keep life continuing. The African savanna, where rules are written by nature, where each creature finds ways to survive in its own way. Some call them thieves, some call them opportunists, but nature doesn't judge. Nature only maintains balance. And in that balanced state, these thieves hold an irreplaceable role. Not heroes or villains, simply part of life. Because on this land, there's only one truth. To survive, sometimes you must hunt, sometimes you must wait, and sometimes you just need to appear at the right moment. This is Africa, where each day is a survival lesson, where opportunists also become teachers, teaching about adaptation, patience, and the art of existence. And in that lesson, there's a message for humanity. In nature, there are no bad guys, only creatures trying to live by any means possible. Therefore, when mentioning Africa's thieves, remember they don't steal, they survive. And that very survival has kept Africa forever vibrant. From grasslands to rivers, from ground to sky, each ecosystem layer has guardians, cleaners, and creatures recycling life. Africa, land of wonders, where each creature, whether large or small, hunter or thief, has a role in life's grand symphony. It is dawn on an African riverbank. The water has not yet turned blue. A thin layer of mist clings low to the surface, refusing to disappear. Everything is waiting for the day to begin. A gray heron stands motionless on a rock near the shore, not hunting, not moving, just standing there, as if it understands that mornings here demand silence. Nearby, an antelope drinks, small sips, Head down, then up again, scanning its surroundings in a rhythm repeated thousands of times before. This is a place every animal must come to, and every one of them must pay some kind of price for a drink. That price is never announced in advance. Lions, the dominant predators of the African savanna. Strength, speed, coordinated hunting. On land, few animals can confront them directly and come out on top. This pride has several cubs under 3 months old. At this age, their brains are still in the phase of exploration, even toward things their instincts have not yet learned to name. The lioness stops about 5 meters from the water's edge. She looks left, then right, then along the surface. It is a habit, but not a complete safety check. Beneath the water, another sensory system is already at work. Along the crocodile's jaws and body are thousands of pressure receptors. It knew the lions were coming before it ever saw them. The Nile crocodile, a reptile that existed long before the dinosaurs disappeared. And it still hunts this way because it has never needed to change. A crocodile does not hunt in the usual sense. It does not chase. It does not surround. It does not need a complicated plan. It simply waits until the target brings itself within reach. The lioness scans the area one more time. The surface is calm, no unusual sound. She allows the pride to approach and drink. It is the most reasonable decision she can make with the information she has. And that is exactly the problem. This is a problem with no perfect answer. The pride needs water to survive the day. That need cannot be postponed. But every trip to the riverbank means accepting a risk that can never be fully controlled. The smallest cub drifts away. It moves closer to the water's edge than the others. The distance from its mother grows, 10 meters, 12, 15. No one notices. The lioness is splitting her attention between the others and her own need to drink. One animal cannot monitor 4 directions with equal precision at the same time. The bend in the river and the sudden drop near the bank erase the usual warning signs. Lions have no way of reading the underwater terrain, so their ability to judge danger is limited. The early morning light gives the crocodile an even greater ambush advantage. And when several disadvantages stack together, the cub's chances of becoming prey rise sharply. The cub edges closer, crossing into the danger zone. Beneath the surface, the crocodile adjusts its posture without creating a ripple. This is the moment when 2 worlds are separated by only a thin layer of water. On one side, curiosity and exploration. On the other, a waiting strategy refined over millions of years. The attack comes without warning. The crocodile's jaws clamp shut in less than half a second, with enough force to lock onto the cub's forelimb instantly. The lioness reacts at once, covering roughly 15 meters in under 2 seconds, her roar tearing across the riverbank. But by then, the cub is already being dragged into the water. The crocodile does not need to kill on land. It only needs to pull the prey into the water. Once there, every advantage shifts completely, and the lioness knows that. She charges in up to her shoulders, slamming at the surface. but there is nothing there, only water. And beneath it, her cub is being pulled in a direction she cannot follow. She stops. No more roaring. She simply stands there, shoulder deep in a river that is not hers, staring into the surface with helpless eyes. Below, the crocodile has not yet dragged the cub into safe depth. The cub is still struggling, not from conscious decision, but from the body's raw mechanical reflex against the pull. The lioness manages to bite the crocodile's tail, the only part still within reach. The bite is not enough to injure it, but enough to throw it off for a second. The crocodile responds with a death roll, spinning violently. The lioness is forced to let go, but the twisting changes the angle of the bite, and in that brief instant, the cub slips free. The lioness drags the cub back onto the bank. She does not stop. She does not look back. She retreats farther and farther from the edge until her paws are fully on dry ground. The riverbank is where two worlds touch. The crocodile does not pursue. On land, the game has changed. It knows its limits, just as the lions know theirs. The cub is breathing hard. The lioness begins licking the wound slowly, over and over again. Beneath the surface, the crocodile has already returned to its old position. Motionless, almost invisible. Nothing about it suggests failure. To a crocodile, waiting is never wasted. The entire attack lasted less than 15 seconds. But that was more than enough to leave a mark. Not in words, but in sensation, in instinct, in reflex. In the days that follow, the pride still has to return to the river, but not at dawn, and not so close to the edge. This is how knowledge passes through generations in the wild. Not through teaching, but through pain severe enough for the body to remember longer than any lesson ever could. The mistake that morning did not belong to the cub. It did not have enough information to understand what it was doing wrong. The mistake belonged to the moment of judgment, to 4 stacked disadvantages. A Nile crocodile can go a very long time without food. Waiting is not a choice for it. It is survival. Every time the lions return to the riverbank, to the crocodile, it is simply another opportunity. Lion cubs in the wild rarely survive their first year. Every injury lowers those odds. This cub may recover if infection does not set in. When drought lasts too long, species are forced to gather around the few water sources that remain. The distance between predator and prey shrinks, and encounters like this one, pride is wrong. The crocodile is only doing what it has always done. The lioness is too. In nature, there is no right or wrong, only outcomes. These two species have coexisted along Africa's rivers for millions of years, not because of peace, but because both sides understand the boundary. The lioness does not know exactly where she went wrong. She only knows what happened. And in this world, the result is the only lesson that lasts. The injured cub carries a lesson today that cannot be taught in safety. It may not understand it yet, but its body already remembers. And in the wild, that is enough. Mistake becomes data. Danger becomes knowledge. And that knowledge, if the cub survives long enough to use it, may become a lifelong survival advantage. The burden is not strength, it is responsibility. The lioness does not live only for herself. Every choice she makes affects her young. Survival is not about always winning. It is a chain of choices, mostly right, sometimes wrong. And one mistake at the wrong moment can change everything. The riverbank does not change after the pride leaves. The crocodile is still there. The water is flat again. Everything returns to normal, as if nothing ever happened. Tomorrow, the lions will come back, but not quite the same as today. The lioness will stand farther away, choose a different moment, keep the cubs closer, not because she has planned it, but because she remembers in her own way. And when dusk falls, the river will keep flowing as it always does. It holds no memory. Only the creatures who live beside it must remember, if they want to survive. The Kalahari Desert awakens with dawn. Temperature rises rapidly from 15 to 30 degrees. A new day begins with survival challenges. Here, every creature has its own story. A story of survival, of memory, of decisions that can change fate. Today, an encounter will unfold between predator and defensive army, between individual strength and collective tactics. Who will claim victory? This is the story of Ravager, an experienced hyena, and a meerkat colony that refuses to surrender. When instinct collides with strategy, Ravager weighs 72 kilograms, the strongest jaws among African carnivores, can crush bones. It hunted successfully here 3 months ago. The memory of an easy meal remains vivid. Today, it returns with confidence in victory. But Ravager doesn't know. 3 months is a long time. The Meerkat colony has changed. They learned their lesson. They're no longer easy prey. Meerkats, each individual weighs about 1 kilogram, but a colony of 50 creates astonishing collective strength. They live in a complex social system, clear division of labor, sentries, hunters, babysitters, and today, all are warriors. Morning. Ravager appears on the sand dune, looks down at the colony. The Meerkat sentry detects immediately. A warning call rings out. But the colony doesn't run, doesn't panic, doesn't scatter. They gather together, form ranks, a living wall of 50 individuals. Ravager stops, surprised that the Meerkat colony isn't fleeing like last time. It assesses the situation, but hunger drives it to attack. It steps down slowly, displaying strength and opening its mouth to reveal teeth as a threat. But the Meerkat colony stands firm, doesn't back down. Distance only 10 meters remaining. Ravager suddenly accelerates, charging straight at the colony with familiar tactics, break formation and isolate the weakest individual. But the formation doesn't break. They move in sync, The entire colony remains a unified mass. The predator is confused by collective tactics never seen before. Ravager changes tactics. It charges straight into the center of formation, tries to catch an isolated individual, but meerkats are too fast. Always another individual immediately provides cover. Suddenly, the meerkat colony counterattacks, not fleeing as usual. They attack the predator's legs, bite quickly, then immediately withdraw. Ravager flinches in pain. It turns to retaliate, but the meerkat has retreated. Another individual attacks from behind. Then another continues. This is the tactic of numbers. No individual fights alone. When one attacks, another rests. The rotation like the heartbeat of a shared body. Finally, Ravager catches a meerkat. It bites tight, then shakes hard. A short cry rings out, then fades. The price of collective tactics. But the predator has no time to eat. More than 10 meerkats charge at once, biting legs, belly, ears, like living needles stabbing the giant. Ravager spins wildly. It tries to shake off the small bodies clinging tight, but claws dig deep into skin, while tiny teeth continue biting ceaselessly. In seconds, 2 meerkats are caught, but each small victory consumes energy, while the entire colony remains numerous. 5 minutes of fighting. Ravager begins tiring. Breathing becomes heavy. Steps slow down. Small bites accumulate gradually, silently eroding strength. Meerkats don't stop. They sense the change. The predator is weakening. They intensify attacks. Stronger, faster, more ferocious. Ravager tries to back away, retreat toward the hill, but they follow closely, biting hind legs. Small bites make its steps become limping. After 10 minutes, the hunt reverses. Ravager backs against a boulder to defend, like an exhausted warrior, raising a final shield before the small storm. It roars again, the hoarse sound echoing across the grassland. A final effort to threaten, but the meerkats have seen blood. Fear disappears. In a final surge of adrenaline, the predator breaks out of the encirclement. It kills 3 in succession. A brief gap opens in the sea of small bodies. 5 meerkats lie motionless, the price of victory, but the remaining 45 stand firm, continue attacking like a living wall. Ravager recognizes harsh truth. This is no longer a hunt. This is an unwinnable battle, where numbers have overwhelmed individual strength. It turns and flees, no longer a mighty hunter, but a wounded creature in retreat. The meerkat colony chases for 50 meters to ensure safety. Ravager disappears behind the sand dune. Dust flies thick behind. Blood seeps from many small bites, while the hind leg limps as a mark of defeat. Meerkats stop, then return to the colony. No more pursuit. The message is clear enough. This land is not for solitary predators. The entire colony stands upright, calls out. Victory cries echo across the desert. 5 have sacrificed, but 45 survive. They look at fallen comrades. The entire colony falls silent, but thanks to everyone's unity, they've repelled the enemy. Victory isn't perfect, but it's still victory. The first time this colony has repelled an adult hyena. In following days, Ravager doesn't return. Wounds gradually heal, but the memory of battle remains. It seeks other hunting grounds, less risky. Meerkats' collective defense tactics are one of nature's greatest wonders. Their strength lies not in muscle, but in unity. But not every herd is so fortunate. When the numbers fall below 30 individuals, the defensive system weakens. At that point, a single hyena can still make a successful kill. Climate change affects both species. Prolonged dry seasons make food scarce, causing meerkats to birth fewer young, while hyenas must expand hunting territories. Both are important species in the ecosystem. Meerkats control insects. Hyenas clean up carcasses as nature's silent gatekeepers. Scientists are studying collective defense behavior, viewing it as a biological model, helping understand how small species survive under predator pressure. When the sun sets, the meerkat colony returns to burrows. Tired but safe, they lie close together, sleeping, like small coals, keeping warm through unity. Elsewhere, Ravager walks alone, legs still wounded, carrying the costly lesson of a solitary predator. In the silence of the Kalahari desert, 2 lessons are rewritten. For Ravager, no prey is truly easy. For meerkats, unity is the strongest weapon. Nature doesn't distinguish large or small, strong or weak. It only distinguishes who survives. And sometimes, survival doesn't come from individual strength, but from the strength of the collective, from faith in teammates, from silent sacrifice. That's the lesson the tiny meerkat colony has carved into the desert. The East African Savannah at midday. The shade thins as the sun climbs higher. This is the resting hour for most species, but not all of them know that. High on an acacia branch, a female leopard lies stretched out asleep. Below, the grassland is quiet. Nothing suggests this midday will not end as usual. But beneath the canopy, a small movement is beginning. A leopard cub, not yet 3 months old, is quietly slipping away from the shade where its mother sleeps. The cub does not yet know what the world beyond the canopy is. To it, everything is exploration. Every sound is a game. Every shadow is fascinating. The leopard, Panthera pardus, is the most solitary of the big cats. Cubs have no means of self-defense and are entirely dependent on their mother for at least 18 months. In their first months, leopard cubs cannot distinguish danger, not because they lack intelligence, but because the brain has not yet been programmed to recognize threats. Within a 2-kilometer radius, A pack of African wild dogs, Lycaon pictus, is resting after their early morning hunt. They are full, but their instinct for alertness never switches off. African wild dogs have a hunting success rate of up to 80%. Not as strong as lions, not as fast as cheetahs, but they never give up. The strength of the wild dog pack lies in numbers and coordination. No explicit commands, only millions of years of collective evolutionary cooperation encoded into each individual. One dog at the edge of the pack raises its head, ears upright, nose drawing in continuous rapid breaths from the direction of the wind. There is a scent, small, young, not yet carrying the smell of maturity, prey. The cub is moving further from the canopy where its mother sleeps. Each step adds one more irreversible distance. This is not exploration. This is accumulated mistake. The young of big cat species have a freeze reflex when facing danger, but that reflex only activates when a threat is recognized, something this cub has not yet learned. The cub moves slowly, sniffing the ground. Nothing in its body language suggests it knows it is moving into dangerous territory. From the direction of the pack, signals travel not through barking, but through posture. The entire pack has risen to its feet, ready for the hunt. The cub has not yet seen the pack. The pack spotted the cub from the very beginning. The one who sees first always decides the outcome, a rule with no exceptions in nature. High on the branch, the mother leopard is still asleep. Nothing has changed up here. Sunlight, wind, the sound of insects. But below, a chain of events has begun that cannot be stopped. The wild dog pack moves, not running, just walking, slow, low, spreading out in a sweeping arc of encirclement. A tactic refined across thousands of hunts, nothing wasted. The cub finally notices the movement. It freezes. The first freeze reflex appears, bossy isum. But too late. The pack is already within striking distance and closing the circle. The cub cries out, a sound completely unlike its play calls. A danger signal, an urgent call to its mother, a sound the mother is evolutionarily programmed to respond to immediately. The mother leopard snaps awake on the branch. No hesitation. The cub's cry has triggered a reflex that millions of years of evolution have carved into every cell. The mother leopard descends the tree in seconds. The speed at which a 50-kilogram animal moves across uneven terrain is the clearest testament to what evolution can create. But the pack already has the positional advantage. Many individuals, one mother leopard alone. The mathematics had already decided the outcome before the mother touched the ground. The mother leopard charges into the middle of the pack to create chaos. A strike at the nearest dog. The pack scatters temporarily, but the cub has still not broken free. The wild dogs regroup in seconds. Near instantaneous formation recovery is the strength of this species. The mother has spent her only element of surprise in a single strike. The wild dog pack pushes the mother leopard back toward the tree. No need to kill her, only to push her far enough from the cub. The separation strategy is more effective than a direct attack. The mother leopard runs and climbs the tree, not out of fear, but because it is the only remaining survival decision. From above, she is safe. On the ground, she does not survive. The cub on the ground, the pack surrounding it, the mother leopard in the tree looking down. One of the most harrowing moments nature can produce, and no one can change it. In nature, there are no moral choices, only biological mechanics, behavior driven by each individual's need to survive. The ecosystem makes no exceptions. The wild dogs are not cruel. They are simply being wild dogs. This species needs food to feed the pack, raise their own young, and keep the group strong enough for the next hunt. The mother leopard does not leave the tree, perfectly still, eyes never leaving the pack below. This is not surrender. This is the observation phase. A leopard does not give up while there is still something to be done. Each individual in the pack is studied carefully. The mother is mapping who stands closest, who tends to drift apart, who reacts slower than the others. Leopards do not only act on instinct, they observe, assess, and adjust their strategy in real time. This is a cognitive ability few people recognize. The pack begins to lose focus. Some dogs lie down. Some turn back to finish leftover food from the morning. The pack is gradually shifting into a relaxed state. One dog separates from the group, moving toward a thicket 15 meters from the pack. At this moment, the mother leopard changes her posture for the first time since climbing the tree. Every muscle tenses. She does not act immediately. She waits longer, watching to see if the dog turns back. This is a patience very few species can sustain in a state like this. The dog moves 3 more meters away from the pack, almost outside the range of immediate support. The mother leopard begins to descend, step by slow step, without a sound. The strike takes less than 2 seconds. No warning, no sound beforehand. In this case, speed and silence are the same thing. They cannot be separated. The dog goes down. The pack reacts immediately, but the mother leopard has already climbed back up the tree, having taken a glancing hit from the pack. The blow was not enough to change the outcome, but it happened. The pack is unsettled for a few minutes, but does not leave. Their numerical advantage remains absolute. The mother leopard lies on the branch, with nothing left to do but wait. As the sun drops lower, the pack shifts direction, not out of fear, but because the instinct to follow prey herds on their daily cycle draws them away. The mother leopard descends the tree in silence. She goes to the place where the cub last stood. She sniffs the ground, sniffs the air, and then simply moves. There is no language sufficient to describe what is happening inside the mind of a female leopard at that moment. But the behavior that follows, what can be observed, says a great deal. She does not leave the area for many hours, circling, returning, sniffing, looking up at the tree, where, if things had gone differently, the cub would be sleeping beside her right now. In nature, the loss of young is not uncommon, but that does not mean it leaves no mark. The mother leopard's behavior shows that this species stores memory in ways not so different from humans. The lesson is not in who won or lost. The lesson lies in the distance between the cub and the canopy that a young animal without enough experience could not recognize. Innocence in nature is not something endearing. It is a gap in the defense system. And on the savannah, Every gap will be filled by something else. The mother leopard will give birth again. She will teach again, protect again, watch every step her next cub takes. That is all she can do. The savannah does not change, does not judge, does not remember, but it creates creatures that must carry memory, because learning from loss is the only way to avoid losing again. The African savanna spreads beneath the vast sky, land of giants, where strength is usually measured in tons. But strength in nature isn't only measured by size. There's another law, more subtle. It's the ratio between strength and body weight. When lowering vision to the arid grass carpets, where tiny creatures possess strength far beyond any ordinary comparison. This is the story about strength in nature. Not about the largest, but about creatures that found ways to maximize every gram of their body. On a fresh buffalo dung pile, a small creature is working. Dung beetle, Scarabaeus sacer, only 3 centimeters long and weighing 2 grams. The dung beetle is doing something seemingly impossible. They're shaping and rolling a dung ball weighing 200 grams, 100 times their body weight. But this isn't the limit yet. In scientific experiments, dung beetles have pulled objects weighing 1,141 times their body weight. To visualize, this equals a person weighing 70 kilograms lifting 80 tons, nearly equal to a modern tank. The secret lies in body structure. Dung beetles have hard exoskeletons made from chitin. Muscles inside attach directly to the shell, creating an extremely efficient lever system. Not far away, a long line moves on the ground. Leafcutter ants, Adaptations, each individual weighing only a few milligrams, but carrying leaf pieces many times larger than their body. Leafcutter ants can carry objects 50 times their body weight, moving vertically and gripping firmly on all surfaces, even smooth ceilings. The ant's secret lies in special neck muscles. This muscle occupies nearly half the body mass and can withstand tremendous pressure without injury. The reason small creatures are disproportionately strong is due to physical laws. When size decreases, surface area decreases slower than volume and mass. This helps small muscles have a large contact area ratio relative to the mass-needing movement, creating advantages no giant creature can achieve. But when we talk about absolute strength, the rules change completely. Near the riverbank, a giant creature steps out from acacia bushes. African elephant, Loxodonta africana. Adult males can weigh up to 6 tons. This is the largest land animal still existing on the planet. The elephant trunk is nature's most versatile tool. Made from over 40,000 separate muscle bundles, no bones, completely muscle and tendon. The trunk alone can lift objects weighing 350 kilograms, while their whole body can pull and push masses up to 6,000 kilograms. In exchange for enormous strength, elephants must consume nearly 150 kilograms of food daily and spend about 18 hours continuously just eating. Not far away, white rhinoceros Ceratotherium simum appears. Males weighing over 2 tons, possessing horns up to 1.5 meters long, full of power. Thanks to extremely developed neck muscles, rhinos can lift and fling objects weighing over 1 ton, turning the horn into a terrifying attack weapon. But there's one species whose strength isn't measured by lifting ability. It's measured by pressure. In murky river water, a pair of eyes looks up. To 6 meters long, has existed through 200 million years of evolution, nearly unchanged, proof of perfect design. Their weapon is the jaw. Nile crocodile bite force reaches 5,000 psi, world's strongest, far exceeding human bite force. When attacking, crocodile jaw-closing muscles contract with tremendous strength, enough to crush buffalo bones or hold tight until drowning. Ironically, crocodile jaw-opening muscles are very weak, to the extent an adult human can hold their mouth shut with bare hands. Evolution only invested energy in closing jaws, not opening them, showing natural strength always optimizes according to survival objectives. Every strength has its own price. Elephants need to eat large quantities. Crocodiles lie motionless, conserving energy. Tiny dung beetles get crushed. Each species found its own position in the ecosystem, from dung beetles recycling waste, ants building complex nests, to elephants opening paths, crocodiles controlling fish populations. In 2026, these species face harsh challenges from climate change, habitat loss, and illegal hunting. Facing that reality, conservation efforts are being intensified with expanded reserves and tightened laws when people realize limits. Strength doesn't lie in conquering nature, but in understanding and respect when each species, large or small, all have irreplaceable roles. East African Savannah. Early morning. Mist clings to grass tips. Beneath a flat rock near a shrub, something begins to stir in the darkness. This is a land where every creature carries a weapon. Fangs, claws, speed, mass, and sometimes the smallest weapon is the most dangerous. And among all venomous species in Africa, there's one that even lions cannot completely ignore when they appear on the same ground. This is the story of two species. One dominates through strength and numbers. One dominates through speed and venom. And what happens when they meet? Black mamba, Africa's largest venomous snake and the world's fastest snake. Average length 2.5 to 4.5 meters. The name black mamba doesn't come from scale color. Their scales are actually grayish-green to olive brown, The name comes from the pitch black color inside the mouth, which they display when threatened. Black mamba movement speed reaches 19 to 20 kilometers per hour on the ground. This is the highest speed of any snake species on the planet. Black mamba venom is a mixture of neurotoxins and cardiotoxins, attacking both nervous and cardiovascular systems simultaneously, with a mortality rate near 100% within 7 to 15 hours. In a single bite, a black mamba can inject 100 to 400 milligrams of venom, while the lethal dose requires only about 10 to 15 milligrams. Black mambas don't actively hunt large animals. They eat mainly rats, small birds, and lizards. However, when threatened, they don't flee, but face threats directly. When cornered, a black mamba raises the front third of its body off the ground, opens its mouth, displaying the black interior. This is the final warning before attack. In a confrontation, black mambas can bite repeatedly multiple times rather than just once before retreating. This is a distinct difference from many other venomous snakes. Black mambas inhabit open ground, sparse shrubland, and forest edges, also where lions often rest during the day, causing the two species' territories to naturally overlap. Lions don't actively seek snakes. However, the two species still encounter each other because they share living space. One misplaced step, a snake awakened, and that's enough. Midday, a lion lies resting beside an acacia trunk, less than 2 meters away. A black mamba emerges from a rock crevice to bask in the sun. The lion stands. This isn't fear, but a snake avoidance reflex deeply embedded in the nervous systems of many large mammals. The black mamba raises its head, displays its black mouth, body coiled lightly behind the head, ready. It doesn't slither away. It stands its ground, appearing much larger. The lion stands still, observing, not advancing, not retreating. In lion prides, the mamba is a species that young ones learn to avoid very early. After a few minutes, the black mamba begins slithering in another direction, not hurried, not panicked, simply choosing to leave on its own terms. The lion doesn't pursue or attack. In nature, a confrontation ending without casualties is the optimal outcome for both. But not every encounter ends in silence. When inexperienced young lions curiously approach black mambas, that's another danger. Lion cubs don't yet understand the black mamba's warning signals. They advance step by step, crossing the safety threshold without realizing the risk. The mother lioness detects this in time and rushes over, using her body to push the cub out of striking range before the mamba can react. Facing an adult lion, the black mamba changes its decision. It retreats, then slithers quickly into nearby bushes. Danger temporarily passes. But there's another species in Africa that doesn't view the black mamba with cautious or avoidant eyes. The honey badger, the world's most fearless animal. Honey badgers stand only about 11 inches tall, roughly 2.5 feet long, and weigh around 35 pounds, but their back skin is 6 millimeters thick and tough enough to resist snake fangs. Honey badger immune systems can resist venom from many snake species, including some cobras. With black mambas, the level of venom resistance is still being studied. The black mamba detects the honey badger when the distance is about 4 meters. It raises its head, displays its black mouth, and hisses a warning. The honey badger continues approaching. The honey badger closes in. The mamba strikes the shoulder on the first attempt. This amount of venom is enough to kill a goat within minutes. The honey badger jerks, staggers, then collapses. The black mamba slithers away. This is natural response after biting. Venom will do the rest. But with honey badgers, the story doesn't end there. About 20 to 30 minutes later, the honey badger begins to move, slowly at first, then faster. It stands up, shakes its head, and continues moving in the direction the mamba left. This behavior has been documented many times in South Africa and Kenya. Honey badgers recover from black mamba venom, then continue pursuing the snake by hunting instinct. The black mamba has moved over 100 meters and lies resting under low shrubs. When it detects the honey badger still approaching, the situation becomes unusual for it. The mamba bites a second time when the honey badger closes in, this time hitting the neck area. The honey badger falls again. The snake immediately climbs a nearby low tree. This time, the honey badger takes longer to recover, but eventually stands after about 45 minutes and looks up to where the mamba is hiding. The mamba leaves the tree and slithers faster than before. This is the true speed of the world's fastest snake when deciding to retreat. Distance gradually increases. The honey badger can't catch up. It stops, sniffs the air, then turns in another direction. No clear winner. Both still alive and continuing their day. Very few species can endure 2 black mamba bites, fall twice, and still stand up. The honey badger doesn't win, but the mamba can't defeat it either. The question isn't whether the black mamba can win. The issue is what victory means when neither needs to destroy the other to continue existing. In nature, a victory has only one definition: still alive the next day. Today, both black mamba and honey badger meet that criterion. Black mambas are distributed across over 20 sub-Saharan African countries. They're not yet critically endangered, but habitat loss and killing out of fear are shrinking their range. In most encounters between humans and black mambas, snakes choose to escape first. They only attack when there's no escape route. Lions know to avoid mambas. Honey badgers know how to cope. Both accumulate experience over generations of coexistence, contributing to maintaining natural balance. Black mambas don't need to defeat lions. They only need to be respected enough not to be stepped on. Over millions of years of evolution, that rule has been effectively established. Evening descends on the savannah. The black mamba slithers back to its familiar resting spot. The circle of one day closes. In darkness beneath the rock, the mamba coils. Body temperature drops with the surrounding ground. nervous system gradually shifting to resting state, awaiting the light of a new day. Black mambas aren't Africa's most dangerous species by actual statistics. Crocodiles, hippos, and even mosquitoes cause more deaths each year. Venom isn't a tool of conquest, but a means of survival. For millions of years, it's helped mambas exist alongside the king of the grasslands. And that is enough. Across the endless grasslands of Africa, the early sun awakens an entire world. Golden light stretches far, rousing life with every breeze. Here, millions of lives coexist. Forest elephants by the riverbank, antelopes leaping, zebras galloping across lush green hillsides. But no species wears magnificence as profoundly as these giant inhabitants. Mass, strength, and survival instincts forged over millions of years. African buffalo, Synchorus kaffir, one of the most dangerous and unpredictable animals on the dark continent. An adult buffalo can weigh up to 900 kilograms. The thick horns fuse together to form a natural shield, called the boss, a symbol of strength. Each day they move steadily, grazing, drinking water, resting under tree shade. Not noisy, but always present. Buffalo live in herds, from dozens to hundreds, but not always tightly organized. Their bonds are much looser than many other species. During the dry season, they gather near water sources. But when food is abundant, the herd may scatter, each animal foraging in its own direction. Females and calves usually stay together. Older males tend to live alone or in small groups, only returning to the herd for mating. But within this structure, a gap appears. When danger strikes, protective instincts are not always triggered. Buffalo senses are good, but not exceptional. Sharp sense of smell, but average vision. Behavioral intelligence lower than elephants or primates. This makes them slow to react. When enemies approach, many individuals don't recognize it immediately. This lack of collective vigilance becomes a weakness. African wild dogs are disciplined hunters, coordinating seamlessly to create formidable collective power. With large ears and extremely sensitive sense of smell, they can track prey across towering grasslands. The massive buffalo herd is gathering, forming a living fortress that challenges any predator. The wild dog pack begins harassment tactics, trying to find openings to separate an individual from the herd. Buffalo resist with thunderous charges, using their solid horns to defend their safety perimeter. A lightning-fast chase erupts, testing the wild dog's endurance and the buffalo herd's steadfast resolve. When cornered, buffalo often unleash extraordinary strength to drive away their encirclers. Teamwork is the most crucial weapon, enabling wild dogs to dominate targets many times their size. A bloody attack begins, the pack focusing on the weakest points to drain the opponent's strength. In nature, letting down one's guard for even a second is enough to completely change a life's fate. But the savannah suddenly falls silent when lions appear, asserting the absolute authority of the apex predator. Lionesses coordinate the ambush, their explosive power making the battle more tense than ever. Eyes full of killing intent lurk in the bushes, the predator waiting for the perfect moment to strike fatally. Battle erupts in clouds of dust, roars tearing through the quiet space, creating an incredibly tragic scene. Sharp claws dig deep into the prey's back, the lion exerting all force to pull the massive giant down to the ground. The buffalo's fierce resistance demonstrates an indomitable will to survive amid the siege of apex hunters. The buffalo herd suddenly counterattacks collectively, pushing the lions into a passive and dangerous position. The boundary between hunter and prey suddenly reverses, evidence of nature's cruelty and unpredictability. The lioness constantly watches her cubs, ensuring the next generation's safety against the buffalo's fury. As dusk falls, the survivors carry wounds and exhaustion, preparing for a night full of challenges. The cycle of life and death continues to operate, maintaining the unchanging balance of the savanna ecosystem. Under the brilliant dawn, the lioness pride begins deploying dramatic hunting tactics. Their target is the massive buffalo herd, animals famous for their ferocity and formidable strength. At the still water source, the boundary between life and death suddenly becomes more fragile than ever for the buffalo herd. Lionesses silently close in on their prey, each step soft, leaving no sound whatsoever. Jackals and bat-eared foxes stand watching from afar, witnesses to the savanna battle. Buffalo counterattack with sharp horns, trying to push back the enemies surrounding them. A chase explodes amid the dust clouds, testing the speed and persistence of the matriarchal hunters. Vultures have begun appearing in the sky, signaling a bloody conclusion about to unfold. The lioness charges full force straight at the prey, sharp claws digging into the thick hide. The struggle unfolds incredibly fiercely, where the buffalo herd's survival will is tested by collective power. The buffalo struggles desperately to escape the siege, demonstrating the fierce survival instinct of all species. The lion pride's persistence is rewarded when they find an opening to bring down the massive giant. The decisive bite to the throat locks the prey's breath, ending a merciless battle. The buffalo finally falls, affirming the absolute authority of the apex predator on this land. The male lion appears to assert his status, ensuring his priority at the Savannah feast. The abundant meal provides precious energy for the entire pride through the harsh days ahead. Scavengers patiently wait for openings, hoping to receive scraps left behind by the apex predator. As the sun sets, the savanna returns to its inherent peace, hiding the traces of battle. A new day is about to begin with new challenges, continuing the endless survival story of nature. Nature is always cruel but fair, maintaining the miraculous balance between hunter and prey. Strong yet vulnerable, giant yet not invincible, this is the African buffalo. And on this land, amid relentless challenges, they still live, still reproduce, still symbolize unwavering strength. This is the African savanna, where life is never simple, where each species writes its own story in evolution's eternal book. And the buffalo, with all its weaknesses, remains an indispensable part of that picture.